아니죠?
Oh my god!
Round one, fight.
나이스 때만 나이스 카메라. 죽여 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 죽여. 나이스.
더블리끼는 없었어요.
In the Bald Man's channel, I'll be covering everything to do with Tier 4, Ark Passive. This video is when I transition over from Tier 3 into Ark Passive, and why I decided to switch over then, what criteria I had, and what damage difference I saw, as well as playstyle, if there were any playstyle changes. So we're gonna cover the journey. We're gonna revisit the blade. We're gonna talk about remaining energy. I did some DPS testing off stream. It's looking really good. Running a very non-Goblino build, and it's already doing like 130 million DPS. Very chill build as remaining energy. I can't talk about that, but we'll do a remaining energy video, and then we'll do a video like with 4 Ps, level 70. I'm not level 70. I'm hitting that today. Basically, TLDR, I am going to cover the Lost Ark Passive journey and how to prepare for the Ark Passive for NAU players and stuff like that, and how you guys can get it ASAP. Thanks for all the support on that channel as well, hitting the like and subscribing. And today we're going to talk about the Soul Eater. We keep wiping an Aegir hard because of DPS check. I have 1 piece. Might as well try Ark Passive now that I have Relic Engravings, because for some of the Nightmare classes, it's worth it. So I went to Trixian, and I was 65 at the time off stream. I did a guillotine swing, of course, with Nightmare enabled, with 6 stacks of adrenaline, and it was hitting for about 420. 420, 430, crits. And I'm like, okay, let me go Ark Passive because I have some hand-me-down accessories. Once again, if you want to know how this all works, I explained it in the previous video. This is a series, so I'm not going to explain that again, but I gave because my Soul Eater is my number 2 main, I gave the ones that my blade was using. My blade got a little bit better ones, so I trickled it down. I mailed it, so it's nice. So I got these. I have the Relic Engravings. I have 1 piece. So I was like, wait, I don't have enough combat level to enable 1 more tier of Ark Passive. I'll show you guys that. So I was like, okay, I need to gain 3 levels. So I went to the Peace Cafe, did an all-nighter right after the Surge Blade stream. I was like dozing off, dude. I was dozing off doing like 35 cubes. And I also did cubes on Gunslinger because I need to do a Gunslinger Ark Passive video for tomorrow. So I set it up, and I went to Trixion. I'm like, okay, my guillotine swing is hitting for like 440 now, 430, 440. I'm like, so I gained a little bit more damage, right? It wasn't as noticeable as my Surge Blade video, because Surge Blade went 3-piece. I have 1-piece. I haven't killed Aegir for the second time, but I wanted to go Ark Passive to help my static to meet the DPS requirement. If I could do even 1%, 2% more. So I was doing a little bit more. So I was like, okay, let me go do the raid. We went in there. I demolished Aegir, dude. I demolished. Dude, we were so ahead of Berserk time, dude. And I got my second piece and I won the box. I wish I won the box first week because I would have had 3-piece. So the second piece definitely, I mean, it was with 1-piece, and relic engravings, definitely worth going. For any EU audience thinking about doing this, you're planning ahead. Even with 1 ancient piece, good to go. Good to go. Just hit 68. Just hit level 68, combat level. And then definitely with 2-piece, it is dominating. It is dominating. I did Thaymine today. I did the Guardians. And it's matching my blade speed. Remember, guys, my blade has a plus 25 tier 4 Esther 8 weapon, right? My Soul Eater is plus 20. So this is my tier 3 setting. 9-7. You know, the whole drill. Made tons of videos. This is my setting. And then now we're going to go Ark Passive setting. These are not okay rolls. They're okay. They're not bad. But they're not as good as my blades. They're mid rolls. Mid rolls. My attack increases a little bit here thanks to the accessories in tier 4. And they also have other perks like additional damage to enemies or common stats like attack. There's also crit damage and crit chance, blah, 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 blah. We'll do that in a separate video. But yeah, tier 4 accessory good because they also give the points here. These points. Okay. We already covered that in the Surge Blade video. So I have 87 points now. We're going to activate Ark Passive. If you want to go to Ark Passive with 1-piece Ancient, you have to be Combat 68. If you want to go with 2-piece, then you want to go at level 66. So let's turn on Ark Passive. So as I said, with Relic Engravings, bam, I was already way more powerful with 1-piece. With 2-piece, I'm playing a different game now, right? I'm playing tier 4 season 3, baby. Now, engravings. Keen Blunt, great. Great. It was already amazing in tier 3. We got great value out of it. We're gonna get even more value because our crit rate went up. I don't remember not critting today. As a matter of fact, I think I'm over critting. Adrenaline, Relic, top engraving for Relic. We already went over this. Because it gives additional 6% crits. Remember, your adrenaline goes from 15% to 14% when you go to Ark Passive, and then when you get Relic, it goes to 20%. And I have a 9-7, of course. This time, I have a Grudge 9, Adrenaline 2. That's giving additional perks and a 1.5% base attack because it's a 9-7, 10-6, and above. Curse Daddy and Rey Capitan. Rey Capitan, Curse Daddy. Standard. I don't know. I wouldn't really go mass increase. The playstyle has gotten way faster, so I wouldn't really go mass increase. You want to go fast. Like the tempo is. Now let's go over to the evolutionary tree. Evolution. As you can see, I have 6 points into crit. Everything, 30 points into spec because. Spec for full moon, and we have 4 points into swiftness. Now let's say my crit synergy died like in my Thaymine run today in gate 4, then I just allocate the 4 points into crit. So this is what I'm testing right now. I'm testing it, the 200 swiftness, because why you have Rey Captain fulfilled. Yes, I do, but attack speed's nice, and I might think about like going a little bit more swiftness. I'm playing around, maybe put in some mass increase. Right now I'm liking this with Curse Daddy. And also, more importantly, the cooldown reduction of 5.7% cooldown reduction. I actually want to get a little bit better cooldown reduction gems because I don't know. I think it might be overkill. Once again, it's only been 2 days. I've done the hardest 2 raids in the game so far with them, and We'll talk about that. We'll talk about that feedback. But the thing is, yeah, so you could play TLDR, you could play around with your crit. You want cooldown reduction, attack speed, you could do that. And this is just flat damage increaser. But the big thing is this one right here. And it says it increases my evolution damage by 16%. I have 2 points into this. And if you use mana skills, right? The mana skills cooldown reduction is reduced by 14%. And then your mana consumption reduced by 16%. So it not only increases my damage, it gives me cooldown reduction, which is very noticeable, chat. That's why people are like, when you guys were watching me do raids, you guys were saying, how are you generating so much gauge? Right? There's multiple things. Cooldown reduction, being able to store 4 crystals, soul shards. We'll talk about that. And we'll talk about also this talent right there for the class Ark Passive. I haven't decided what to do with the 4th tier, so we'll do a follow-up video on that. 4th tier probably next week. Right, next week. Okay, so as for here, let me tell you something about this. This is, once again, coming from your accessories. As long as they're above 60-something quality, we'll do a more detailed video on that. So quality, the color really doesn't matter. Once again, another video on that, okay? We'll do a separate video on that. But all you need to know is these first 3 columns are your class engravings. So what's the new one? The new one makes the soul shard, additional soul shard. You don't have this yet. You're not playing this right now. But what do you think the 4 soul shards, how do you think it will affect your gameplay? I'm glad people knew the right answer. More gauge. Yes, in the FMH mode, yes, you do more burst. You have additional skill. So as you spam your green skills to put them on cooldown, before you could spam your purple skills if you want, but then the thing is, you could spam your green skills and then store up the shard. I'm still testing this. So you have more storage to spam your green skills and then spam your purple skills, as well as the CDR. The CDR is also nice. Come in here. So you want to put your skills on cooldown. So the shard acts as another shard. The 4th shard acts as a bank, basically, TLDR, okay? So you build gauge fast, you have CDR, and yes, endless mana also has CDR and blah, 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 right? But then like you have to like enter that state and then use a skill while in that state. So you're always like thinking about it. But now you have a permanent CDR. And it doesn't lower your damage when you're because you don't have endless mana state. So you don't get your damage ruined, right? So less thinking involved. And then right here, while you're in a combat state, it says, your gauge every 3 points. So every point you put in, right? So every 5 seconds, every 4.4. So every 3.5 seconds, I get 1% gauge. And your, what is this? What is this in English? Oh my God, I made a guide for this for Amazon Games, but I don't remember. The purple skills, okay? Let's just do baby colors, okay? Baby colors. So the purple skills damage increases by 1.2% per skill point. And because Soul Eater is a good class, right? At least the Full Moon is very good because these are majority of my skills or damage. In terms of the damage pie, they make up the overall majority. So once I hit level 70, I put the points there and whoo, it's gonna be nice, man. It's gonna be nice. Because what I'm trying to say is they don't give you enough skill points to level 14 every skill, right? So if your class or your build, majority of your damage is coming from 3 skills, to the moon. You get what I mean? You know what I mean? Like, yo. And yeah, so these are my gems. And yes, you want to keep these gems at tier 3. More on that later, but just copy this. And today I will be stripping one and I'll be gambling it. And more on that later after I shoot this video. I just wanted to keep this the same. In tier 3, with Ark Passive, I didn't change my gems yet. Okay? So I'm gonna get even stronger. So once I hit 70, I'm gonna get stronger. And once I finish my Una, I'm gonna get what? 2.4% stronger and more gauge. Faster gauge. Couple complaints that I had for Soul Eater on launch. I wish during the burst mode that I could use like one more skill. Like one more skill would be just perfect. Because it was short. The short is good because sometimes like you want to burst before the boss phases within seconds. So that's nice. But I just wish it had one more skill. And they gave us that. My second thing with Soul Eater was I wish the gauge generation was a little bit faster. Passive gauge generation. quality of life. They give us that. My gauge generation, right after I burst, I usually get about 50 to 60% gauge right afterwards. It's crazy. The gauge generation is insane. The tempo is insane. So there are some like things being experimented. For example, like the opener. When you have an awakening, no more nightmare, guys. No more nightmare. So let's say we start to fight. We have an awakening. We're gonna do get the raid captain, guillotine swing, activate, guillotine swing, went to awakening, or you could do Reaper's Scythe, refresh, Reaper's Scythe, and then guillotine swing into a vestige. So that is one of the burst cycles in Atrophin. Now, what about in your standard cycle without awakening? Get the raid captain, guillotine swing, vestige, guillotine swing, Reaper's Scythe, into guillotine swing. That's the other one that people are experimenting. Let's say you're busily building gauge. So let's say this one is down, right? So you just activate, guillotine swing. You could do like this. Okay, or you're building gauge again, and let's say your guillotine swing is down. It's down. What you could do is you could do this, Reaper Scythe, activate, raid captain, and do it like that, right? It's up to you. That depends on the fight. My feedback is her tempo is fast. She feels piano. Burst feels good. Gauge generation is through the roof. Even if you miss a skill, it doesn't feel punishing because you generate the gauge back so quickly. That's another thing I didn't state. That's another thing I want to really stress. It feels like, you know, like Igniter Sword as well as Full Moon. If you miss a skill, you're like, oh, gee, I gotta build gauge again. Gotta do this again. Build up my Lego again. Build up my sandcastle before the wave crashes. But now that you generate gauge so fast, and also because you're storing one more shard, it doesn't feel as bad. It doesn't feel as punishing. It's crazy. The floor got raised, ceiling got raised. What the heck? Like this class is clearly like Soul Eater is clearly the daughter of Lost Ark, bro. The daughter of Lost Ark, bro. Like they're eating good. Like how long is this gonna go? I don't even know. But they just keep eating good. They just keep eating good. And I'm not complaining because I have a Soul Eater. Feels modern, fast tempo, not punishing. If you miss, that's okay. I crit like crazy. If I don't have crit synergy, it's not Jover. Jeez. So they fixed everything that I had a problem with. There's no more endless mana where my, guillotine swing does less damage because of endless mana. I'm waiting for endless mana to end, but I need to enter endless mana to build gauge faster and get the CDR and blah, blah, blah. Like, all that's over, man. All that's over, dude. I don't really have any complaints. No more using that bozo hallucination. God forbid if you still use that. No more nightmare. Oh, man, it's awesome, dude. I think in terms of feel good, like quality of life, Soul Eater in my roster got the most out of the Ark Passive. Maybe Gunslinger is next. Maybe Gunslinger proves me wrong. Maybe she is the #1 in terms of quality of life.